Hello all. I've just finished a long shift. I've just been driving the buses, just finished a late shift, and what I've done is I've driven up to Kingoodie Bay. Kingoodie Bay, just on the outskirts of Dundee. It's a great place to come and relax after a long day. And 12 o'clock start tomorrow, so I've got a few hours. It's 11:30 now, so I've got 12.5 hours to my own time before I go back on shift. I'm just chilling out down at Kingoodie Bay. What I was hoping to do actually was, I go for a walk, just get the midnight fresh air and that. And I was hoping to get some video footage of the stars. And there's a bright planet. I mean, it doesn't come out too clear on this. I was hoping to be able to do that, so he can show you the colours, the stars, and there's a planet that's really bright. There's also another planet in the other direction that's got this kind of red and white tinge to it. I don't think it's Mars, because when I remember right, Mars was always like a steady, well, it was a red kind of colour. I mean, you were able to see it at a distance, but it was just, you would see the light. There's a pinpoint light, and it would sometimes, if you looked at it long enough, you would see it sort of twinge, a red twinge to it. And that was what Mars was like, for me anyway. When you looked at the night sky, Mars had that kind of, it sort of had a twinge to it, you know. But now, if you look at this, more than one of them, there's like a bright pinpoint light in the sky that's kind of copper colour. And it doesn't sort of vary, it doesn't twinge or anything, it doesn't twinkle. It's just a steady copper colour. I don't know what planet that is like, but I was hoping to, as I say, I was hoping to get this recorded on video on the phone. I've got my other camcorder with us, which is on, I tried it on infrared, but you wouldn't get the colour. It doesn't pick up very well, so I'm going to have to get, I'm going to have to get something that could work well at night. You know, I tried coming out to here, but there's not much light pollution, but it still doesn't really pick it up very well. But if you're looking at, I mean, it's quite late obviously, but if you were out and it's a clearish night and you could see the bright light, the bright planet, there's it's kind of like a copper coloured. It's just kind of like, you know, I've never saw it like before until fairly recently, the last couple of years. So I don't know what's going on there, like, because I mean, I don't know what's happening with the planets, like, you know, the different stars. I've never noticed it before until I say recently. It's a very bright copper colour, like, you know, it's a steady colour. It doesn't sort of twinkle on anything. But there's quite a lot of that lately. I'll try and zoom in on this. I'll just see if it can work. I don't think it's going to do much good, but I'll try it anyway. Right, so I'm at the car now. I'm trying to zoom in as best as I can with this to that bright light it was on a bit, but as you can see, it's just not really working at all. What you might do, or what you might get, however, is the sound of the geese and stuff and that's in the river at the River Tay Bay. It's very soothing actually. I recommend it if you're working and you finish and you want somewhere to chill. Just at the end of just before you leave Dundee, it's like the Kingoodie Bay. hoping you could hear the waves and the birds. Unfortunately, they're not picking up anything at all. These lights you're seeing, by the way, that's just lampposts in the background. Unfortunately, I can't even get anything at all to show you. I don't have I think I need a specific type of camera for it. I'd have to invest a lot of money into that. But I would love to share this stuff with you, but I'll hopefully get the sound of the wind blowing through the slight breeze blowing through the reeds, I think it is. It's really tranquil down here, peaceful and tranquil. Nah, unfortunately I'm not going to see anything. Right. Well, I did try and try my best. It's just a pity I couldn't pick up anything for you, but I think I would have to invest in quite an expensive setup to get the night sky. I would love to be able to do that, but hopefully you would have enjoyed the tranquility down here, because it is really nice and quiet after a long shift. It's really nice. But I was on one of the other videos I made. I was talking about the Mandela effect and like supernatural things as well. I'm just hoping that, if you do research on it, on the Mandela effect, and you'll see what I meant. It's basically, people could easily dismiss it as false memory, or just mistaken memory, but it's different. It's not like that. This is just in reference to the video I made prior to this one. And other things about the strange anomalies in the sky. You like the way the sun's positions differently. I mean, it always used to set in the west. But I've seen it sort of like setting in the west, but in the east, I've also saw the glow. I've seen a bright glow, as if there's like another light source, or even like another sun, perhaps. But it's something like, I've seen this kind of recently. Well, in the last 2 years, it's been quite intense. This strange sky anomalies and that. But there is lots of stuff on the internet that sort of goes into a lot of in-depth detail about it. Their theories, their versions, their ideas. It's like a lot of people have. There's a lot of videos, and there's footage as well that show lots of strange cloud formations and sky anomalies and light anomalies and that. I was hoping to try and share that with you, but I can't at the moment. But I recommend, if you are out, and it's, if you look at the way the sun, if you could remember how the sun used to be, it used to always set. You had this nice, it was uniformly, the sun was, it was just the set colour, and it just set below the horizon, and that was it. You had the glow, and it was relaxing. It was really pretty. It was beautiful, but no, it's just different. You're getting like a kind of false horizon. I mean, there's clouds kind of mimic the horizon now, so the sun is setting behind the cloud line, and the cloud line's sort of mimicking the horizon, if you know what I mean. It's just not like the way the setting of the sun used to always set behind. I mean, occasionally you'll see it, but nowhere near as much as that you used to see it. Like in the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s. So it really got intense after 2010. Well, no, I started noticing things different around about the 2000 and after 2010, but within the last 2 or 3 years, it's really got, just barmy. I mean, the weather, we're getting like all different seasons. You used to get different, it was like you're saying, you used to get 4 seasons in one day. But now it's getting to the point where you're getting like 4 seasons in 1 hour and everything, I mean, like I was doing my shift earlier today and it was a clear sky. And I thought, right, I'm going to get the camera out and get filming the stars for you. But like really, within a matter of minutes, within an hour anyway, it's sort of like hazed up. Everything hazed over. The sky was hazed. You couldn't see anything. It was all just, you couldn't see any of the night sky. It just had this haze. It just appeared. I mean, it just came out of, it's very quickly. But then no sooner did it arrive, it kind of like cleared up. But not totally. There's like patches. There's patches of haze over certain areas of the city. And you've got like other areas where it's clear, where you could still see the night sky. But for me, I mean, the weather used to, if it was like that, the weather always used to, like years ago, decades ago, before 2010 anyway, if it was going to be foggy, it would slowly, gradually start to get foggy, and then it would stay foggy for a while, and then it would lift. But this like just now, nowadays it seems to just appear in a matter of minutes. But there's areas where it's still clear. You can still see the night sky and that, and there's other areas where you can't see anything. It's just I was hoping and trying to explain it, but it's difficult. I'd rather have could have shown you on video. But I mean, I would have went up below a hill, and I would have shown you just how parts of Dundee were completely covered and other parts weren't. And it's like patchy. I could see it looking at it firsthand, but you're not going to see anything with this, unfortunately. It's a real shame, but I was hoping to, but I have to get like expensive equipment for that. But yeah, I mean, you could easily see it yourselves if you're interested. Just have a look at just sort of like look at the way the weather's behaving in the sun, with the clouds are carrying on. It's different. It's just not. There's something not right in. There's like instances where you could get these rainbow colours, like a rainbow without the bow, and it's just not. It's just not the way naturally how it used to be. A rainbow was a rainbow. You had the colours of the rainbow and it was in a bow shape. But now you're just getting. It's just like rainbow colours, that are patchy colours. You're not getting the bow. I mean, it's not just in one part, but you're getting these rainbow colour patches in different areas of the sky. I mean, you look out for that. I mean, I've got, I think I've got photographs of it. I can maybe try put them up. Yeah, I might actually put some of them up on a slideshow, because I did take pictures of that. But see, I couldn't unfortunately get I mean, it's beautiful. It's quite. I could just sit back and relax, and I could spend hours I could just flick that light off, and I could just sit here for ages and chill out and do that. But I would have loved to be able to just do the video, speaking with you and having the stars and that in the background. But yeah, that's what I was wanting to share with you just now. The Mandela effect is a different subject. That's it's supernatural if you want to call it that. It's where history's changed, basically, to put it in a nutshell, in an explanation, my explanation of how to try and explain it. The best way to get an idea of what it means is to do your own research on it, and you could start just by going online and typing in Mandela effect, Google it up, and then just research what's been said about it. It's great. I could just sit here for ages. I could just go to sleep. So chill. I mean, it was a busy day. I was on a busy route today, and that light behind me, by the way, I can see it on the camera. That's just the lamppost that's further up there. It's actually the light's dispersing off the rear view, the rear windscreen in the car. It's steamed up, so it's getting this orange glow at the back. It's just the condensation. That's another thing. The temperature seems to be really erratic. I mean, it used to be that the temperature, the weather temperature, would be it was a set temperature. It didn't keep changing. It was more uniformly specific. So if it was maybe 20 degrees, gosh, it's just somebody walked past there talking to himself. Excuse me, it's just got a fright. Somebody was just walking along the road there and speaking on. Nobody else in the car. They'd be wondering. I got a fright. I should have paused that. I couldn't see anybody. I don't know why you thought. Never mind. But I forgot what we were saying now. Oh gosh. Yeah, the temperature, the outside temperature. If it was like 20 degrees centigrade, it would be that over a large region, like over the country. But there has been on instances in recent times, I've noticed that it could be in one area of the city even, and it could be a temperature. There was one extreme maybe last year. It was last year, I think. It was 28 degrees centigrade in Dundee. This is last year or the year before, and within 3 miles of crossing the Tay Road Bridge into Fife, it was down to 18 degrees centigrade. So from 28, I've got the thermometer on the dashboard, an outside thermometer, the ambient temperature. And it went from, as I say, from Dundee, 28, it was at 28.5 degrees, if I remember right. It peaked to that. And then 3 miles across the Tay Bridge into Fife, it was down to 18 degrees centigrade. 10.5 degrees variation in only just a few miles. It's not like I went up a mountain or anything like that, or it was just along the road. But that's just one example. This seems to be a trend, like a regular, it's becoming more widespread now. It's more common now for this kind of weather phenomena. It never used to be like that. It was right up till, say, all the years I've been alive. And 45, and I remember up to 2010, well, maybe in the 2000s it started. You used to get some strange weather, but it was occasionally. But after 2010, I think it was when it starts to get a really bizarre, and it's becoming, within the last 2 or 3 years, it's become really, it's just an awful lot of strange anomalies. I do not remember it ever being like that. But I've done, I've asked people, I've done sort of like research and in some instances to a degree. And apparently it's always been like that. I mean, no, people aren't surprised of it being like that. So it's sort of like, it goes hand in hand with the Mandela effect, if you like. I mean, I'm a true believer in the supernatural because of experience at first hand. I don't know what's going on with the weather. I mean, there's lots of theories. I've heard things like, there's like a sun simulator where they've got a giant pharyngeal lens, I think it was. I mean, this is like stuff I've just read online. I don't know, obviously, but it's something to think about. They get this big lens and they could replicate the sun. And the clouds is another thing that I've noticed lately, that the clouds at night, it used to be, when it was cloudyish, you could see the orange street lights on the clouds. That was like normal. But in the last couple of years, it's become much, much brighter. It's almost as like it's almost as if the clouds are fluorescent. Can't pronounce fluorescent. It's like the clouds are fluorescent. But it kind of, it sort of, like, it's luminous. It's more when light hits it, it kind of like lights up. It's more fluorescent, more luminous. If that's a bit the best way. It's the best description at the moment. It's worth having a look at. I mean, if you could remember how they used to be, the clouds. It used to be, they never used to be so reflective. They weren't as reflective as they are now. The clouds are much more reflective. And it's reflecting light. It's spreading it out, which makes the night sky sometimes like it's still fairly lighty. When it's cloudy, it's still quite lighty because the cloud is reflecting the street lights, and it's more ambient, more reflective, fluorescent light. So, I'm just chilling out here. I'm having a blather with you. I was hot, as I say, I'm going to just end this because this is kind of going on long enough. I'm going to figure out the road to get something to eat, showered, might watch something on the telly for a bit and then go to my bed. Well, maybe I'll get a camera and I could do some night sky filming for you. But anyway, it's just a real pity I couldn't get that film for you, but right, I'm going to leave it there. If you've sat and listened to me going on, well, thanks for listening. I'm just going to switch this off now and go up the road. Okay, right, if you're whatever time you're watching this. Right, thank you. Bye now. And hoping you'll see that. This is me I was on the video earlier down at Kingoodie Bay, and I'm just heading back home, and I saw this. The moon, it's such an amazing colour. You can't miss it. Unfortunately, I think by the time I got up to maybe somewhere where there's no light, like the Loch or whatever, it would probably be clouded over. This is now like 12:30 at night, so absolutely remarkable. Amazing. The colour of that, and just this is the best I could zoom in with this camera, but Amazing. I can look at that for ages. Yeah. It just gives you a scale of how big it is. Just you can see everything else, and you can see how big it is on the horizon. It's a real sort of orangey colour. It's just a pity I couldn't get that. You see, there's more than one of these planets I was talking about, or lights. There's a copper coloured light there. You won't see it on this camera, unfortunately. There's one that's in looking east. That's northeast. There's one of these. This is now looking west, opposite direction. There's one of these copper coloured sort of star like things, planets there, lights, whatever it is. The ordinary stars, the blue kind of twinkle stars, or there's loads of them about, but it's like there's the orange copper one there in the west, and the orange copper one there in the east. There's one in the south. We've got the moon there. And back again. But it was, I was just going to put my car in the lockup, and as I was driving along the drive here, I saw the crescent, the moon crescent. It was a very orange, big, bright, crescent-shaped moon. So I pulled in and got the camera out and started filming for you. But as you probably noticed, it just kind of stopped. That was the camera memory, the camera phone memory SD card. It was full right up, so I've had to transfer the files from the it was in the phone memory. I had to transfer it onto the SD card so I could continue to film. But I hope that came out okay for you. Yeah, it's just surprises, isn't it? You just think, oh, I'm not going to get anything to show you, and then the moon decides to show its face for you, like the quarter moon. But it's a very unusual colour. I mean, I tried to, as I was explaining about these copper coloured stars, planets, lights, whatever they are. I'm just going to call them copper coloured lights, because I don't know. I mean, the normal stars used to be the blue, twinkly coloured, but this is a steady, constant copper colour. That's kind of like, yeah, kind of copper colour maybe is the way to describe it. But a light copper colour, sort of blonde, I don't know. But it's not like the normal type of stars that I remember. So yeah, it's well after midnight now. I think I'll call it a night of that, unless something else shows up. Maybe a spaceship. I don't know. I don't dismiss it. I'm an open-minded person, and I like looking out for these sort of things, and I would love to be able to share it with you. Okay, good night. Thanks for watching.